Welcome back to Tech. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles. You know, the big game is this weekend. We've all talked about the big game, whether your team's in it or not. Millions upon millions are going to be watching it around the country. And, you know, you heard about breaking away from the cable. Well, actually, you can break away from the cable and still watch the Super Bowl. There's a number of ways of doing that. And joining us in New York to talk all about it, Eric Yaverbaum. You've seen him before here on the show talking about all sorts of things. And today we're talking about breaking away from the cable connection to watch the Super Bowl. Eric, you can find him on erichopr.com, also at The Real Yaverbaum. Eric, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you coming into the New York studio and talking about breaking away from the cable.
Thanks as always for having me. I'm not breaking away, though. I'm going to watch in every way, shape, and form.
You know, I've thought about it. Well, the funny thing is I don't like either team. So I think it's going to be I'm going to watch the commercials.
What?
So maybe
I have to pay homage to my brother-in-law and root for the Patriots.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. Being a Niners fan, if the Patriots win, that'll really throw a curveball at the NFL with the whole controversy over Deflategate. But we're not going to talk about Deflategate here. We're going to talk about Cablegate in the sense that, you know, theoretically, you can break away from the cable. And this may be the first year, really, that it can be done rather easily, right?
It's really easy. You don't need a television anymore. The interesting thing is, by the way, though, while everybody's breaking away from television because you don't need it to watch anymore, and we're talking about 185 million people. This is the #1 viewed event of the year. While we talk about breaking away from the television, there's something called 4K TV. Of the 185 million, which is high resolution, the highest you've ever seen, just slightly under 8% of people buy this brand new TV that has this incredible resolution during this time. So people are still buying TVs. They are still watching it on TV. But there's so many other ways. You don't need a TV now. It streams live in a million different places.
Right, you know, there's a number of reasons. We've talked about the 4K TVs before, and, you know, some of the TVs out right now are so clear without being 4K. Even my wife complains it's almost too clear, like you're watching a soap opera in some respects. Now, for sporting events, as you know, that's a much different deal.
Yeah, it's like being there. It's like having really good seats when you're there. But here's the interesting thing to juxtapose against that is that in the stadium at the Super Bowl this year, only if you're in the stadium, you will be able, on your mobile device, only in the stadium, to watch instant replay from 4 different angles and the commercials. So the people that are actually at the game are going to be using technology to watch the things that we can watch at home on TV.
I'm curious with Twitter and Facebook how fast that's going to move. I can tell you from being at the Super Bowl in '98, when the Giants played the Patriots, it would have been nice to have been able to watch the replays and the commercials. Because that's the one thing I will say after covering a Super Bowl is that you miss some of those things, and I would have rather been at home than actually be at the game. Interesting, NBC's calling it Super Stream Sunday, so you can watch it on your computer and your tablet, but you can't watch it on your cell phone because Verizon has the rights from the NFL. So if you're a cell phone user and you're out and about and working, you're not going to be able to watch the game. You're going to have to find a tablet, Wi-Fi hotspot, computer, or at home.
No, Verizon is. You will be able to watch it. Verizon is making sure that happens too.
Right.
You
Only
can watch
Verizon.
it in any way, shape, or form. And isn't it so interesting that, I mean, how many games have you been at as a sports fan, and you would say, oh, I wish I could see the replay. How many boos might there be on a wrong call? You're going to see the same exact things that the referees look at when they, are trying to decide whether to overturn a play or not. And the other thing is kind of ironic with, the advertising is everybody wants to watch the ads. Even if you're at the game, you want to watch the ads. And I don't know if you realize this, but last year there was 6.3 million hours of ads watched on YouTube. So people are, as into the ads as they are at the game almost. And, I'd say, it's game time, it's tech time. It's a real interesting time to look at technology.
Eric, it's interesting you mentioned about that, watching the ads. I can remember being in a different news studio before I came to Fox when I was working in local news, and we would go 13 years ago on the websites and look for the coolest commercials of the year or the coolest ones from the Super Bowl back then. So that's still going on today. You go there, you find all the funny ones. They have them listed out for you. What I think is interesting also is that for viewers who want to watch it on the computer or on their laptop or stream it to their TV, they do not have to log on to a pay service, for example, and get authentication. If you're going to go to HBO to go or one of those sites or Fox, you have to usually get authentication to be able to get the streaming. This happens straight away, and I think it's interesting that NBC is doing this because a lot of people have been asking for a long time, why hasn't this been done? Because you can still watch the commercials on your laptop or your tablet.
That's right. Well, NBC is taking advantage of the Super Bowl really to promote what's called TV everywhere, which is industry wide. It's just a matter of time. You will be able to watch television anywhere that you want, anytime on your cell, on your your laptop, on your tablet, whatever you want. And they are NBC's taking this opportunity to promote that, and the entire industry benefits from it.
Right, Eric, really, really quick. I mean, isn't this a no-brainer? TV stations and networks make their money from advertisements. Why wouldn't they just automatically stream to phones and tablets if you can watch the commercials and the same programming right here and get the money from that?
Well, I think so much money is made already. It's almost like monopoly money. Who cares? Obviously, people do, but I mean, all of that is just a matter of time. It's the ratings right now for any given TV show on any given day aren't just what the old-fashioned way that we used to measure, like when I watch on my television set at home. What about all the other ways that I watch? That's the larger audience.
Right. Eric Yaverbaum, as always, great insight. He's also the publisher of Trumped Magazine. You can find that as well. Ericho PR is the website, and you can find him on Twitter at The Real Yaverbaum. Appreciate you coming on, talking about everything Super Bowl. Good luck with your game this weekend. Like I said, I'm looking for the commercials and looking forward to the dip my wife's making. I'm not really going to care who's going to win, but I know you're a Patriots fan because of your brother.
Well, enjoy the game.
All right. Thanks. All right. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles, and you're watching Tech Take.